Man. So you should start this year with that bracha and see how many people start the daf by saying amen.
Oh.
I don't think I sent out the chazorah today, right? I don't think so.
No.
Oh, man. Such an ice forth. I guess the Ira Torah didn't have much of hashpah on me.
What do you mean? You came back to the Ira Torah?
I know. I'm saying, well, I was there. I should have remembered to send out the chazorah. Okay.
No. He said you just came back to the Ira Torah.
Oh, I thought you said it.
So your brother Shalom's house, your brother Shalom's house is like the embassy. It has a din of a Stein house in Far Rockaway. It's not.
I hear. If you would see what goes on over there, you don't even know how what you're saying is true. It's certainly not Lakewood over there, that's for sure. Yeah. Okay. So, see, it didn't even come up on. Did it come up? Yeah. No, it didn't come up. Okay, whatever. So we won't start it because I'm late anyways.
Dago, are you doing Ma'ariv tonight?
It's in the plan. Parrots, you in on Ma'ariv?
If he shows up by then.
Parrots, is he there?
Right now, I am scheduled to be home at 10:11.
That should be fine. I don't know.
So
Line
10:15?
Yeah, I came for Mincha. No one was there.
So 10:15 is
I
good?
went to Aaron Kaplan.
Okay, let's see. So, listen, we'll try it, I guess.
So perfect. 10:20 Ma'ariv.
Huh?
10:20 Ma'ariv.
I figured you needed
Perfect.
a minute for Myra, so I didn't daven yet. I waited.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so second widest line down, right? Mefanan Truma Tahira. Yeah, so you're allowed to move Truma Tahira. So why shouldn't you be able to move Truma Tahira, right? That's a Kayan, can eat it on Shabbos. The month of the Yad Yisrael. It was in the Yisrael's hand. Now, the same even the Lei Chazilei. Also, since you would think that since it's not right for the Yisrael to eat it, so it would be also for him to move it. Kamash Malon, given the Chazil Kayan, Shaper Dami. Since it is right for the Kayan, then the Yisrael can move it too. It's an interesting chiddush here now. That means I can move something that l'chayra should be muktza for me. Right? Something should be muktza for me, but on behalf of the Kayan, it doesn't even say on behalf. Since the Kayan, it's right for the Kayan, so that's it's also right. Now medicine, since that was our sugya for the last week, is also muktza, right? Because you're not allowed to take medicine. So let's say I have a big headache, right? So I have a heter to take the medicine. Can I ask you, who doesn't have a headache, to bring me the medicine? Right? So l'chayra from this Gemara is a raya that you should be able to. I think, but maybe not. I mean, you could be mechalek. You can be mechalek. One is that it's exclusive to the patient. So, right? Really, everybody. It's
no, but this is food.
What?
This is ultimately
no, right,
food.
right. And this food batsum doesn't have a din muktza at all. The medicine doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm not so sure.
I was wondering if I care. Is the reason the Gemara had a havamina here because of the original takon of muktza? When the Gemara said before, 2 blocks ago, that everything was muktza, was that just talking about kalim or everything that has no use for me right now? In other words, could be the truma for Yisrael was also considered muktza once upon a time.
Yeah, that could be. Well, we're saying it's chazia l'kayin, so therefore it works, right?
No, but is that why it became ois muktzah? Could be once it was muktzah. When all kalim were muktzah, what was the din of this truma ta'ira?
I hear. Okay, let's see weiter. So that's one. Demai, right? Akiva, this is what you spoke of 2 days ago, whatever it was. Demai holy chazilei. Demai again. Demai is meisters that we meaning stuff. It's fruits that come from an amorit. So we don't know whether he took off mais. We trust that he did not take. We don't trust that he took it off. So therefore, it's called damai. We had it a few times. We don't know what the status is. So demai. So why are you allowed to move demai? Holy chazilei. It doesn't. But he's not allowed to have it. He can't eat it. Since a person can theoretically make all his belongings hefker, become an ani. So therefore, it is really possible for him to do this.
So Yaakov, why all of a sudden we say Indian of Kivin the Chazer, like from at least from before we said Kivin the Chazer. When it comes to certain things, didn't we say like when it comes to like a beggar that's less than Gimel or whatever it is, that it has to be it depends on the person?
Yeah.
So over here we said Kivin the Chazer Lakoyin Shopper dummy, but it's not. Why in this case do we say even if it's Chazer for somebody else, it's fine for you, and over there we don't say that.
Well, there it was less than 3 by 3, so it wasn't chazi for anybody, no?
But no, I'm saying in a case where it's for an ani, like there are certain measurements that are only.
Why don't we say that it's chazi since it's chazi for an ani?
Chazi for an ani, right?
Therefore, maybe I would think because you don't have the ani in front of you.
But here you don't necessarily have the coin in front of you either. I'm saying
no, but there is going to the assumption is there's going to be a coin somewhere somehow.
Fine, but it's not chazia for you personally.
Right, but since the assumption is there's a kohen somewhere, then that's enough. But an ani, what happens if the economy is doing givaldik and there's no ani? No? I guess that's what I would think. Fine, okay, let's see. So Titnan, machilanas aniyim demai v'zachsani demai. You're allowed to give an ani demai and you're allowed to give your guest demai too. Amar Avuna Tana b'Shamai Aram ein machilanas aniyim demai. Safsani Demai, because Shammai holds you're not allowed to. And obviously, because like this hill, that's why you could do this shtick and make something happen. Right? Ma'aser Rishon shenitlu chumasai. Right? This is Ma'aser Rishon that the chumos already taken off. Yeah.
I want to. There's a Ma'aser from the Mat Ephraim that's perfect with this Gemara. There was a Pesach in Broad where there was a troop of Yiddish soldiers in the Austro-Hungary army were going to be in Broad over Pesach. They didn't have enough food for them. So they called a meeting, and the Mat Ephraim said, okay, so we're going to mata kitnius. So the Balabatim said, well, you can give this Jewish soldiers kitnius? He says, no, you're going to eat the kitnius, and you're giving them all your matzah.
Daka?
The kitnius for you, and you give the soldiers the matzah.
Very geschmack. That is a geschmack story. Very good. So you're saying here you should eat the demai and give the real food to the. Okay, that's a that doesn't sound like that's shot in the Gemara, but okay, I hear. Or you could be mafker all your stuff. You become the ani and give it all to the guest. But I don't think you're gonna do that. Okay. Anyways.
No, so maybe Gufa. That's what the Gemara is saying. That's why the Gemara switched from one line to the next. The line before said, since there's a kohen somewhere. Here, you could become an ani. You shouldn't give your ani demai. Give him real stuff. You want to eat demai, figure out a way for you to use it.
All right. Very good. Very good. So anyway, so the next case is Ma'aser Rishon shenitlu shumasim. Right? Normally, the normal order of things is you give truma, then you give Ma'aser to the Levi. Right? First to the kohen, then to the Levi. But you could do a shtick where you can give the Ma'aser to the Levi first, and then the Levi will take off the truma. So that's what we're saying. Ma'aser Rishon shenatla trumasai is where the Ma'aser is the standard. Pshita, that's also pasha. Why not? Why shouldn't you be able to carry it? Like tzricha shekdima b'shibaylim v'natla himeno trumas Ma'aser v'nailata himeno truma gedola. No, it's talking about where you did a shtick, and the Levi went, and they took off the trumas Ma'aser, not the Levi necessarily, but somebody went and took off the trumas Ma'aser first, but you never took off truma gedola. Okay, so you really basically what you did it backwards. If you take Ma'aser Rishon, you went when they were still in its. How do you say shiboilim? Is it the stalks or it's in the it's in the
ears.
In the ears, that's what I thought. Okay, so what it's still meaning, it's when it's still freshly cut, right? You jump then, and then you give the Ma'aser to the Levi. So then. Right, again, then it's a way to make it potter from Truma Gedolah. That's a workaround to not give it to any Kohen. You have to give off Ma'aser from Ma'aser. You only have to take off Ma'aser from Ma'aser, but you don't have to take off Truma Gedolah and Trumas Ma'aser from Ma'aser. So meaning if Ma'aser comes first, then that's a legal loophole in order to get you out of taking off the truma. So that's the chiddush. And why does it have to be only when it's in the ears? Why can't you just go take it even when it's piled up? On you it says all your matanas you should make truma. Meaning this at some point you have to, there's a cutoff line when you can do this shtick, right? So we're saying that once it's in the Kri, that's too late to do this. So how do you know which one is which? All right? So one answers, Hayidgan v'halayidgan. One it's already grain. When it's piled up, it's already dogon, and then already it's too late. If you do get it when it's still in its ears, then it's gonna be you can do the shtick. Well, Ma'aser Sheni, Shita, right? So Ma'aser Sheni, what's Shita? Right, so the way Ma'aser Sheni worked was basically in the second and the sixth year. No, what was it? All years for Ma'aser Sheni? No, that's Ma'aser Oni. The rest, all the other years, you have to take all your fruits and take it up to Yerushalayim. Now it was way too much fruit to carry to Yerushalayim, right? For you to take up to Yerushalayim. So what you do is you take the fruits and be paid it onto a coin. And then you would take the coins up to Yerushalayim, and then you would buy fruits there and then eat it in Yerushalayim, right? So, but you had to add on a fifth. If you wanted to do this and not carry just the fruit up, then you would have to add on a fifth. So here we're talking about where you were paid it a keren, but you didn't add on the chaimish. So you would think that doesn't work. Chaimish is not ma'akiv, and the fruits are still considered as they lost their kedusha because the kedusha is now on the coin. Fine, but turmas are yavish. Right, so these dry beans, tafka yavish, avalach loib. It's only yavish that you're allowed to move it, but if it's wet, then you're not allowed to move it. My time, since it's bitter, nobody's going to eat it. The animals are not going to eat it, so therefore it's going to be muktza. Now this is the opposite of all the cases we just said. Now it goes the other way around. That if they were all fixed and truma was taken and maisa was taken, etc., so then you're allowed to take off the maisa. Then you're allowed to. It's not muktza. But if you didn't, so then you're not allowed to move it, right? So the Gemara is going to go through this pshita, meaning just the opposite of what the Gemara just said. So Avalai said, "Pshita leitzricha betevel tova midrabanan." Right? We're talking about tevel midrabanan. Shezara ba'atzit she'ein nokav. Right? We've discussed that quite a few times. If you planted the vegetables in a flower pot that didn't have a hole in it, so it's only chayiv to take off chumas and maisros midrabanan. So there you would think that it would not be muktza because it's only tevel midrabanan. Kamash malon that it is muktza. The loy ma'aser rishon pshita letzirah shekdimu b'kri. We're talking about where, like we said before, where the guy went and took it from the pile. Shenotam meno ma'aser v'lo notam meno truma gedolah. He took off ma'aser, but he didn't take off truma gedolah from the ma'aser. Now the same Rav Papa Abaya, you would have thought like Rav Papa said to Abaya that this shtick should work. Whether it's in its ears, or whether it's in its pile, so it teaches us no, that's like Abaya's answer, and this shtick does not work by a Kri, and therefore it's not considered taken care of, it's not considered fixed, and therefore the fruits and the vegetables are muktza. We're talking about by the Ma'aser Sheni where you were paid it, but you were not paid it properly. The Ma'aser, you were paid it onto an asimon. Now, asimon is a coin that, I don't know if the other remembers the asimonim from Eretz Yisrael, but it's a coin that does not have a value, right? Depending on, they would raise and lower the value of this thing. It's like a neutral coin. So if you take all your fruit and put all the kedusha of the Ma'aser Sheni, onto this asimon, it doesn't work. It has to be formed, a form of silver in your hand. And that has to be something that has a tzura on it. So therefore, it doesn't work. So that's what the chiddush is saying, that even if you were paid it, it's still considered muktza because it wasn't done properly.
But if that's a case, if it wasn't done properly, then it's not Ma'aser Sheni. It's not. It's right, not Ma'aser Rishon. It's not any of these things. So then why are we even discussing it?
No, it could be it's Ma'aser Rishon. It could be it's Ma'aser Rishon. You just didn't do the Ma'aser Sheni.
According to Art Scroll, it says that it's an unminted slug, meaning it's the cut of the coin before they mint it. They put the face of Alexander the Great or whatever on it, right? Before then, it means nothing to anyone. So how are you going to be paid the Meiser Sheni with it without having any type of simanim to know what you're actually being paid on?
You mean to know how much you? Yeah, in a chanami, you're right.
So then, but if that's the case, it's null. It's null and void. You can't buy with an unminted slug. So I might as well have just done it with a bottle cap. You're
right, 100%. It's
but then it was null and void. So why?
Correct, and then that's why it's muktza.
And that's the chiddush. We're saying even if you were paid it does have some value, right? It has epis of value, but since it doesn't have a surah of a value, so therefore you would think, but I was still paid it. We say no, you were not paid it. It's no good. No good. It's exactly what he's saying.
If you can't spend that, then you haven't done it.
Exactly. But you're right, 100%. You're saying it's so poshut, then why would you even need to teach that?
Right. Because you haven't done it. So then of course it's gonna be muktza because you haven't done it at all.
Right.
It's just a pile
Yaakov, there is an inyan of asima, and asima does have some type of inyan of coin. The Gemaras in Azav do discuss what asima has.
No, correct. It does have.
It's not perfect. I'm saying it's just not what the Torah requires. It has to be
right. It's not done correctly. So therefore, the meiser is no meiser, not a good meiser, and therefore it's muktza because you're not allowed to eat it. Okay, and hektish shechil gabi karka. Hektish is a similar case. Let's say I decide to make my car into hektish, right? So now the Beis Hamikdash has no need for me for my certainly doesn't Beis Hamikdash doesn't have a need for my car, right? But if they say okay, we have enough cars, so what do? So you take the worth of the car and you do the same thing. You put it onto a coin and you give that coin to the Beis Hamikdash, right? So what happens if you do it onto land? You say okay, the kedusha of my car is going to go onto land. That doesn't work. So hektish shechil gabi karka the Rachmanam v'nasan hakesef v'kamla. You have to give the kesef. It has to be for him. So therefore, being mechalal it onto the karka does not work. Okay, fine. V'layas haluf and not the luf. What do we say luf was? Also some sort of beam. No, I think so, right? Okay. So anyways, so we get a lot of words here. So Tana Rabbanan metalton is a chetzev meishu Michael etzviyim. You're allowed to take this chetzev, right, some sort of grass. Right, Rashi says it's a grass that grows very deep into the ground. So you're allowed to take it because that's what deer eat. Tzviyim. It's a food for deer. It's a chardol, and chardol is mustard seed because it's food for yoina. Yeah, for birds. You're even allowed to take little broken pieces of glass because that's what the article says. Anemius is an ostrich, right? Yes, Rashi says b'noisa yana. So right? Don't chickens eat pebbles to help the digestion?
It's called
that's for the craw.
For the craw, right? So I guess an ostrich eats glass. Okay. Why don't you say that you could take bundles of zmyrus, of grain? It's not not really grain. It's zmyrus is vines, right? Vines? Yeah. Because elephants eat it. So maybe an elephant will come around. Rav Shimon Gamliel says no. Nima is, I guess, ostriches were common back then. I don't know exactly where, what, but elephants are not common. I'm gonna remember who the Isla Neemias, and Maimer says no, you have to have ostriches. If you don't have ostriches, then you can't take broken glass because the ostrich may come marching down the street. But this the Rav Nosson asked Rav Shimon Gamliel, that bundles of vines, you could take it because it's food for elephant. If it's talking about where he has elephants, so why can't you take it? Ela roy must be that it just means that it's right to give to an elephant if you don't have an elephant. So chanami roy. So here too, by the ostrich, it also must be that he doesn't have to actually have it. It just has to be right for that. Fine. So Amar Rav Shimon Gamliel. Amar Rabbi Rav Shimon Gamliel, Rav Shimon, Rav Yishmael, Rav Akiva, Kulu Sfiru L'Kol Yisrael B'nei Malachim. This should sound familiar. Abaye said Rav Shimon Gamliel, Rav Shimon, Rav Yishmael, and Rav Akiva all hold that call yourselves b'nei malachim. Rav Shimon Gamliel hoda amara. Right? Rav Shimon Gamliel is what we already said. Yeah, Rav Shimon, the Tanad b'nei malachim sachan al gabi ma'kasei, and I hope this is, I hope the Adam remembers this one. Right? That the b'nei malachim are allowed to shmir on their cuts, shemen vered, rose oil. Because that's the derech of b'nei malachim to smear even with during the week. So obviously, it's not considered refuah. Shimon Omer Kol Yisrael b'nei malachim. And Rav Shimon says that Kol Yisrael is b'nei malachim, right?
So Yaakov, can I ask something on a tangent for a moment or not?
Yeah.
We keep on saying this, Yisrael b'nei malachim. So what is all the musa? I mean, I also give musa. What is the musa they give to people that go away for yontif, or they buy this, they buy that? We're b'nei malachim. So you're supposed to go for yontif, buy yourself a new car, buy yourself a new house, buy a house in Florida and in Yerushalayim. B'nei malachim. The Gemara keeps on telling us we're b'nei malachim. So what are Rabbanan giving people musa that they are b'nei malachim? No?
It's Yaakov. He lost me when he says he gives muster.
It's hard to believe.
Because you're taking it, like, you want to hear the meat and potatoes answers, because you're taking b'nei malachim in a very esoteric way that we're talking b'nei malachim. Right? The Gemara is really just using it as a catchphrase. It doesn't actually mean malachim.
Yeah, but you're letting somebody carry Shabbos because maybe an ostrich is going to show up. That a mayor in Saudi Arabia owns an ostrich. No, right. Not too many Yidden in Kruk who owned ostriches. You know what I mean?
I hear. Very good. You're assuming also that Art Scroll has ostrich as the right translation.
Oh, so elephants. Let's sign elephant.
Yeah, I hear. I don't know what to say. Yeah. I don't know. Anyways, yeah. So that's the classic Reb Shimon that Kol Yisrael b'nei malachim. Rabbi Shmuel, Rabbi Kiva, the Tanya Aresha you noishin by elef mana. This is a very interesting case. Somebody borrowed 1,000 mana. He owes somebody 1,000 mana, and he doesn't have the money to pay it back. It's the labas kuf mana, and he's wearing a jacket that's worth 100 mana, which is an expensive jacket. Right? It's a tenth. The jacket itself is worth a tenth of the loan. Right? So what you do is you take it off from him forcefully. You could take off his jacket, his expensive jacket, and give him a shvacha jacket. And like this, you could sell it and at least get paid back some of your loan. Why is that
different than Shiva Ram Nassim?
Now, Shiva Ram Nassim means there's a third party involved. This is just between two. Shiva Ram Nassim means if I owe you money and you owe somebody else, so that somebody else can come straight to me.
Right.
This is just between me and you. Let's say I owe you $1,000.
Right.
Right. And I say I don't have the money, but I'm wearing a jacket that costs $500. You say, you know what? I'm going to go to Bezdin, rip the jacket off, then we give him a jacket that costs $10. Right. Like this, I'll get some of the money back.
You could do that.
According to according to the Rebbe Kiva, you could do that. Now, I'm sorry, not according to Rebbe Kiva. According to the Tanakama, you could do that. Rebbe Kiva,
so you could do that with people's cars or houses or whatever else.
I was just about to say I could take the guy's car if he owes me money.
Yeah, well, you got to know exactly what the parameters are. You can't take his car; you got to replace it. But let's say a guy owes you $100,000 and he drives a Bentley, right? Yes, so take his Bentley and give him a Toyota.
Parents, you could take the guy's wine cooler.
A hoverboard.
Yeah. But Rabbi Shmuel and Rabbi Kiva disagree. We don't paskin. We paskin that you can. Yes. I mean, obviously the cases are. I'm no expert, so I can't tell you exactly what the parameters are. But that's the basic thing. But Rabbi Shmuel and Rabbi Kiva say no. Kol Yisrael ruyin loisa itzla. Everybody is right to have that type of jacket. Meaning, just because you're saying that he's not right because he owes money, but lamaisa there are yidden that it's possible to be right. So therefore, you cannot take the jacket from him. Okay. Chavile kashva chavile, right? So bundles of straw and bundles of, how do you call it? Flax and all that stuff. So Tanaman, chavile kashva, chavile eitzim, chavile izradim, right? So all these bundles, im hiskinu l'maychel b'hem v'taltanazan. If, like we've been saying, if they're ready and good for animals, So they're not muktza. If not, you're not allowed to take it. He has a twist. If you're not allowed to take it, if it's enough to be taken in one hand, that's allowed. Two hands is not allowed. Right, so bundles of sia, ezab, and kurnis. What do they say these things are? I mean, the Gemara is going to really try and describe it, but let's wait. So, if it's for eitzim, for firewood, then it's muktza, obviously, because you have nothing for you to do with firewood on Shabbos. But the Michael Behema, Mistava remember Shabbos. For Michael Behema, then you could use it on Shabbos. For kaitim biyad, va'oichel, and you can cut it with your hand as long as you can break it open with your hand. You can eat it. As long as you don't cut it with a kli. Now the reason for that is for toichen, right? When you grind something, you're not allowed to cut like an Israeli salad. It's a little vague exactly how small you're not allowed to cut things, but you're not allowed to cut fruits and vegetables into tiny little pieces on Shabbos because of toichen. So that's what it's saying here too. You can't cut them up, but you can't even cut it with a kli because a kli is the way you would do it during the week. And you could roll it with your hand, right? It has a outside to this, right? So therefore, you're allowed to roll it, but you can't roll it with a kli and harbe, and you can't do a lot.
Is that only for vegetables or cutting anything like to precise proportions?
No, it's only fruits and vegetables.
So
the
not
only
like
thing
meat,
is
if someone
meat,
has like a
eggs,
meat
liver
slicer.
to make to make liver and eggs and all that. The only reason why you can't make it on Shabbos is because it's a weekday activity. So therefore, you have to do with a shinui. Right?
I know someone who has a hand crank meat slicer. Are they allowed to use that on Shabbos?
A hand cranked meat. Well, how small are you doing the meat? It's not, you're not making such small pieces.
Well, no, it's like a deli slicer, but you crank it by hand
It's
instead of a motor.
If you want to cube it up for the baby, what do you mean?
What do you mean, meat?
Meat or challah, let's say.
If you're really cutting up the meat into tiny little pieces, then I would say you can't use it on Iowa. You can't use a kli. It's a weekday activity.
So I'm saying, are slices pieces? Is that like deli slices?
It's possible. It's very there's definitely a lot of places going to hold that. That's like, how about spiralizing vegetables? How you like that? Fancy, huh? Right?
They have this new technology thing that you use. You put the squash in it, you turn it, and it makes it
into
a spiral.
The zoodles.
The zoodles, right.
So does that's very long. So do you look at it its length, in which case you're not really cutting up too small, or do you look at it with its width, which then you are cutting it up small? So it's a Machlokes, which should come as no surprise. But
this goes back to what Aaron Zweig was saying the other day about going up and down, more strength, less strength. You take the total BTUs.
Yeah, no, Hanami. So, but it's weekday. You're not supposed to do it.
So how do you paskin l'maisa?
I would say with the meat slicer.
All these things: meat slicer, spiralizer.
No, you shouldn't do it. You should do it before Shabbos. Yeah. Fine. You're allowed to roll it with the tops of your fingers and eat it. The way I really envision this is like a peanut. It has that purple thing on it. Right? You open up the peanut shell, and then there's that purple thing. Do you want to roll it? You want to roll it off, right? So you can do that. Just you can't do a lot. Right? The same thing with amisa. Right? The Gemara is going to explain, which it's not going to really explain, but and sharmine tavlin. My amisa ninya. So what's amisa ninya? That's modern Hebrew. Mint.
Mint. It's nana,
it's mint, yeah. Sia, what's Sia? R Yehuda, Sasri. Anybody have a touch for that one? I bet
it's hyssop.
What?
It's zatar.
Hyssop.
Oh, Sitzri Azib. Right? No, that's a different one. That's no. Azov is hyssop, isn't
They
it?
call it pennyroyal, which means it's a type of mint as well. That's what they bring down at the bottom.
Is there? Okay. Abarsa is so Azov is Abarsa, and Cornis is Cornisa Shma. Who Damarlu man boy Cornisa v'shtakach chashi. But there was a person who says, "Who wants Cornisa?" And when meaning he was in the marketplace, he said, "Who wants Cornisa?" And they found out that it was chashi. So then, therefore, it doesn't sound like Cornis is Cornisa. Elasia. Sasri, Azev, Abarsa, Cornisa, Chashi. Okay, so the Gemara changes what all these things are. Okay. Itmar Basar Maliach Mutter L'Tatal B'Shabbos Basar Tafel. Right, so salty meat is mutter to take on Shabbos, right? This probably has to do with beef jerky, you know. You can
It's
move it on
raw,
Shabbos.
so it's like
raw,
tartar.
but it's yeah, like steak tartare, yeah, 100%. Or I would think beef jerky would be the modern equivalent, no? So since it's edible, you're allowed to move it. Basar tafel, though, raw meat that doesn't have any salt. Rav Huna Amar mutter l'tatalei. Rav Chisda Amar asa l'tatalei. Rav Huna says mutter. Rav Chisda says asa. Rav Huna Amar mutter l'tatalei. I'm sorry, it's a question. Rav Huna Amar mutter l'tatalei. Can Rav Huna say mutter to take? But Rav Huna Talmud the Rav Hava. Rav Huna was a Talmud of Rav. Rav Rabbi Yehuda Sfira lay dislay muktza. Right? Rav holds like Rabbi Yehuda, and Rav Huna is a Talmud of Rav. Again, the assumption is that Rav Huna is going to paskin like his Rebbe. Right? So the Gemara says, "But muktza la'achila, so like Rabbi Yehuda." Rav holds by muktza for food. He holds like Rabbi Yehuda. Right? Anything having to do with food, he holds like Rabbi Yehuda that it's muktza. But muktza l'taltal, but muktza for moving, then he holds like Reb Shimon. Right? Meaning, it's very interesting. This is very interesting. He's saying that he holds that b'negea to eating this food on Shabbos, he holds like Rabbi Yehuda, and you're not allowed to eat the food on Shabbos. But for moving it, let's say it's in your way, so you're not allowed to eat it. That he holds like Rabbi Yehuda, you're not allowed to eat these foods on Shabbos. The unsalted meat that's raw, you cannot move it on Shabbos. I'm sorry, you cannot eat it on Shabbos, but you can move it, right? He splits it down the middle. Very, very politically correct opinion from Rav. Again, for eating purposes, he holds it's muktza. For non-eating purposes, for just moving it, he holds it's not muktza. Fine.
What does that mean for eating? For eating purposes, why
you're not allowed to eat it? You're not allowed to.
Why aren't you allowed to eat it? Either you're allowed to eat it, or you're not allowed to eat it.
No,
why
because he holds it's muktza. It's muktza. It's not meant to eat. So, Mamela, in your das, you never had it in your das to eat this before Shabbos, so therefore it's muktza.
Very interesting
shita, right?
What does that mean? If there's a raw steak on the fridge, you can't move it over to make room for your kugel you're putting in the fridge?
Yes. This is a big issue. You know when this issue comes up, right? This issue comes up if you open your freezer. If you have a door you have a freezer door that has raw meat that's frozen. It could be your whole door, and you have your whole door of your freezer's muktza. It could very well be that you can't open up your freezer door. If you want to be careful, you brought it up, Aaron. You brought it up.
That's a major chumrah there. Wow.
It's a major chumrah, but the place can say that you should make sure that if you're going to keep meat on the door of your freezer and you want to go into that freezer on Shabbos, you should put something that's not muktza on that door, so that something that's chashuv on that door,
like vodka.
Jacob, you don't have to go. You don't have to go so far.
Wait a minute. You can't do it.
What? It's not mekayma. Why is that mekayma?
If I need the space.
First of all, it's not a kli. It's not a kli. Meat is not a kli. It has to be a kli. In order to move it from mekayma, it has to be a kli. Meat's not a kli.
I'm moving the freezer door.
I understand, but the freezer door is muktza.
I open up the freezer door. I need to put something there. Ice cream, the farm ice cream. I can't move over the meat.
No, the meat's muktza, 100%. You cannot move over the meat. No,
wait, hold on. He had a good point.
One second. If the meat cooked and refrozen, then it's fine.
No, raw.
It's raw meat.
Raw meat.
You cannot move the raw meat. It's muktza.
Jacob, why do you have to go so far in the freezer? I think the refrigerator is a much easier problem.
How many people keep raw meat in the refrigerator over Shabbos?
You went shopping on Friday. You're going to make a barbecue Sunday night. You have the stuff.
Okay, so you're right.
Let's say a child. You should be buying fresh on Sunday, Alan.
Yeah, exactly. Everybody's got
raw beans also the same thing? Raw beans?
Yes, raw beans would also be muktza. Yes, raw beans would be muktza.
And let's say a child gets hurt and you don't have any ice and you need meat.
Yeah, so that's a good question. That is a good question. What would you do then?
You need the ice. You need
See,
something.
that's the thing, though. It could be. Could we say, Rabaran, you're
muted. You're muted.
So what happened if Mike Tyson hit you in the face and you need the raw steak to put on your own face? What do you have to have your kid get hurt for?
What happened if he bit your ear? What happened if he bit your ear?
Don't get your kid hurt. You get hurt. No.
Whoosh.
He's on fire tonight.
Anyways, the Olam doesn't
Must be
never
the
watch
pajamas.
Rocky. I don't think the Olam knows that you put meat on a busted eye from the boxes. They don't know. They don't know. His door doesn't know from Rocky, which I tell you. But
Simon's facial expression was great.
What are you saying?
I move a kalachiyad, the meat.
That's a different shaila. If you can move a kalachiyah with your feet, I don't know, Asher. I don't know. That was Asher Frankel asking that with the meat.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I don't know what you would do then. I would say to take something else, but maybe nowadays that the oilam does eat raw meat a shtickle. I mean, I don't know how you look at beef jerky.
What do you mean? Steak tartare.
Right, exactly.
I don't know if enough people do that. I don't know if enough people do that.
Jack, I'm talking every menu in every fancy restaurant.
Beef
I wouldn't
jerky.
know.
Beef jerky is cured and processed with some heat.
How would we know if it's on 550's menu? Who would know such a thing?
Oh yeah.
550's never been busier.
Yeah.
This is for the other chat. This is for the other chat.
Anyways,
So
what-
yeah, you're saying
Yes.
you wouldn't look at beef jerky as cooked?
No, l'chayra
It is
It's
cooked.
dried out. L'chayra, it's dried out. Yes.
It's cooked to 200 degrees. It's a dehydrator.
Right. Okay,
But,
so I don't. Yes, so
the-
raw meat is muktzah. Bottom line is raw meat is muktzah. Yes.
Oh.
If it's in, you mentioned if it's in the door of a freezer, the door of a freezer becomes a basis to it, so it gets the din. But it's such a kli. You can't. You might get the same din as that it is muktzah. You can't turn it into food.
Right.
Yeah, but if you have davar mutter there, if you have ice cream on the door of the freezer, it's fine.
You're assuming
even without a davar mutter,
You're assuming that
have
the
a
door.
kli.
You're assuming that the door takes on the status of a kli because of the meat that's on it. I'm not so sure we say that.
Well, no, even if it doesn't, I'm saying it is a kli lemaisa. No.
The door is a kli, but it's only. But the door.
Yeah.
The
so it gets a
muktzah
din
is coming
muktzah,
from.
but if tzarich l'mkaimai,
Okay, maybe.
still a kli.
Jacko,
But
I'm just curious. We're talking about meat here, but that's negate any frozen vegetables on the door also, right?
No, frozen vegetables. Why? You could defrost it and eat it. No, it would only be food that if you defrost it, it's not edible. Right? No, but you know, listen. I'm not saying that there are makilim. I don't remember Gershon. Maybe the makilim was saying like you're saying. I think so.
So I'm just saying, if you have pizza bagels, you're not going to eat the pizza bagels without cooking them. So if you have pizza bagels on the door,
right?
Okay, no.
You have
Okay.
pizza. You have pizza bagels.
Yes, yeah. So you just have to make sure that there's something on the door that's more chashuv than the meat. That's not muktzah, and then you're okay. I don't know what's going to be more like. You're right. Vodka is the easiest thing. Take some vodka,
Right.
put it on the door. Unless you have a very expensive, piece of meat, then not. Whatever it is, but yes, it should be.
Yaakov, I'm in the car. I have no idea what Amud you're up to, but I don't know if I should give the 5-minute warning.
10:01. All right. We don't have a time limit because I don't know if we're going to have a minute.
Since we all have milk in the freezer, does that work on the door?
No, because what's worth
I don't have milk in the freezer.
It has no chashivas whatsoever anymore.
Correct. What's
that's
worth
true. We put
more?
the
What's
chocolate
worth more?
I have 70 milks in the fridge.
Listen, yeah.
Gershon, we put the chocolate milk is more chashuv.
Yeah. Anyways, but that is something to be aware of. Anyways, weiter. Rav Yitzchak bar Ami yikla levei Rav Chisda. We're 5 lines up from the bottom. Rav Yitzchak bar Ami yikla levei Rav Chisda v'chaza hu bar Avza tava komatata le misham shalatula. So they saw a goose, right? That was good. Yeah, a goose. That they were taking it from the sun to the shade. I see here that it's a chesaron kiss. Right, meaning if the goose or whatever it is, that fowl is going to stay in the sun, it's going to get ruined, right? But it was raw. It was raw. So how do you move it? Right. So shani baravza the chazi leumza. Right. Asher, this is something. Well, I guess it's because you could what do you call it? You could eat it raw, right? You could eat it raw. Meaning, sounds like
Is this alive or dead?
who? Dead.
Oh.
Now the question is, if you let's say your kids do fall a lot, chas v'sholem, and you know that you're always using meat to put it onto the kids' bump or whatever it is, like what Asher Frankel's saying. So then maybe it also doesn't. Maybe, Shabbos afternoon is a prime time for injuries, correct? So maybe you have it in your head that your meat you're going to use as a way as a compress, whatever, to put down a cut. So then maybe it wouldn't be muktza. Okay,
So you don't have to salt this meat?
What do you mean? You have 3 days to salt it.
You didn't salt it on Shabbos. You give me masak. There's no issue.
No, I don't think you could salt it. I don't think you could salt it on Shabbos.
So how would you even? How is it chazi lumtza? What does that mean to be umtza?
What?
How is it chazi for anything?
How do you know it wasn't salted already? Because if it was
says
salted,
that, I thought the Gemara says that it's.
Yeah, so true. There's Akiva Taisus. Look at the third Taisus up. Taisus is Aymiran. You're very good. Taisus Mikan Raya the Dam Ha'Ivarim Shaloi Pirush Mutter, meaning if there's blood that never separated from the animal, that's really mutter. The Gemara the Chazi Lo Umtza Afagav the Lemaliyah. What do you mean? It wasn't salted. So meaning we only care about the blood that's on top of the meat.
And that you're able to remove? That you're able to remove on Shabbos, or that was already removed?
That you're just sucking on the meat. So you want to suck on the meat because you like sucking on the meat. If you get some blood from inside the meat, that's not a problem. That's what Taisus is saying. To answer up your kasha. Yeah, so very good. So Torah Rabbanan, now we're done with meat. Now we're on to fish. Torah Rabbanan, Tog Maliyach Mutal Tatalei. That's a good thing. What's every kiddush gonna do if you would not be able to take salty fish, right? So that's Mutal Tatalei because you eat it that way, right? Dog Tafel also Tatalei. But dog tuffle is not allowed, right? Because it's raw. Also, now the question is how does sushi? Now, does sushi change that equation? Maybe. Also, meat, bein tuffle, bein meliach mutal tatle. So this sheet is saying meat, whether it's salted, not salted, you're allowed to move it, right? The stama R Shimon, and the stama is the parentheses. Really, it should be like R Yehuda. I'm sorry, no, it's like R Shimon, right? It's like R Shimon. Fine. You're allowed to move bones because that's a Michael Club, right? Basa tapuach, yeah. Spoiled meat, not tapuach, tafuach, right? Tapuach is an apple, right? Although we said maybe tapuach the other day was not an apple. Okay. Basa tapuach mibnei Michael chaya, right? That's chaya will eat raw spoiled meat. Mayim megulim. What about water that you left out all night? You're allowed to move it because a cat will eat it. You're not even allowed to leave it in your house because it's a sakana, right? So for sure they're muktza, right? You're not even allowed to have it in your house. Yeah, okay. Zog the Mishna.
He's saying that they're muktza, or you have to get them out.
The mamela, it's not right for anything. Meaning, not that you get them out on Shabbos. It's muktza on Shabbos. He's just saying you're not supposed to have this in your house. So therefore, it's muktza.
Can you feed it to a cat?
You could feed it to a cat.
So what's he saying?
What?
He's not arguing.
I think he is arguing. Oh?
My megulin is mutter m'reishen ruim l'chatul, because you can give it to a cat.
Right.
No.
Kol atzman osur. You're not even allowed to keep it at all, mipnei sakana, because of sakana.
Does this say Gadaf could get rid of it? Not. Don't give it to anything. Pour it down your sink. Pour it in the drain. Do whatever you have to.
So you're saying you can't give it to a cat. Okay, fair enough. But either way, he's holding that it's muktza. Okay, so talk to Mishna. Kaifin es asal l'fnei afroifim kadesh yalav yardu. Right, so let's say your chickens, they want to go in and out of the coop. They can't get in there because they're too short. So what you do is you put a basket there, they jump onto the basket, and then they jump from the basket into the coop, right? So kaifin es asal l'fnei afroifim kadesh yalav yardu, so they can go up and down. Tarnagoyles shebarcha. Let's say your tarnagoyles ran away, right? Ran away from the house. You can push it and until it goes in. You can push Agolin and Siyachim. right? That's sort of, Rashi says you hold onto its neck and you sort of like drag it. You give it like this little push, right? Fine. Isha motherless, but a woman can also give her kid a push if the kid doesn't want to walk. So you sort of give a push. That's only if he picks up one hand, one foot, puts down another foot. But if the kid drags his feet, then that's also because that's chashash. That's sort of like carrying the kid. So it's a problem. Yeah? Fine. Okay, so behemoth that falls into a water. Maybe you can bring pillows and blankets and put it under the animal. Then also, and if it's able to go out, meaning you're putting it there sort of it's too deep, it's too steep for the animal. So what you want to do is take pillows and blankets. It sort of like lifts up the ground for the animal to be able to step on the pillows and blankets, and then it's able to get out. A behemoth that falls into water, you can do parnasa in its place, so that it doesn't die. Right? Meaning you can feed it in the water so it doesn't die. Parnasa in karm, but that's masha. You can give it parnasa, you can give it to eat, but you cannot give it pillows and blankets. Like kasha, no, one is talking about where you're able to support it and it'll live. The other one's talking about where you don't have that ability and therefore it's going to die. So in if you're able to do a parnasa, then you're allowed to do it. If you can't even farness it and keep it alive, so then maybe then you take the pillows and blankets and you put it under it. So that's one of the rules of muktza, is that you're not allowed to take a kli. We had it way long ago. You're not allowed to take a kli and make it muktza for the rest of Shabbos. So by putting these pillows and blankets under the animal, it's no longer be able to be used the rest of Shabbos. So how are you allowed to do that? So he holds that to be mavatal a kli.
It's soaking wet. What are you using it for?
Oh, and a chanami, right? That's what it's saying.
What are you going to use it for on Shabbos?
Correct. So that's what it is. You just ruined it for Shabbos. That's one pshat. There's a couple of pshat. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what you're saying. Since you made the pillow and the thing and the blankets wet and disgusting, now you just nixed it for the rest of Shabbos. That's what some say is exactly the pshat, right? So the Gemara says no. Savar about the kli mechanoi derabanan. Being about the kli is derabanan. Savar lechayim is doiraisa. The doiraisa v'dochi derabanan. Comes the doiraisa and is doicha derabanan. Right, now there's a lot there, because does that mean that if you see an animal suffering, then you can be over on a derabanan to save it? Yeah. I'm not so sure. First, I think it has to be your animal, right? I don't think it's Stama animal, right? But I don't know. I didn't look. I can't say I didn't have time to look into it. I did not look into it, of like exactly what the parameters are of this. Yeah, believe that. Maybe I'll try and look at it tomorrow. Okay, Tanagal Shabarcha. Tanagal runs away. Doichin in medad and light. So you're allowed to push it, but you can't like lead it along. You're allowed to push along the behemoth chayin in a yard. Avalayas a tarnagolas, but not a tarnagolas. Tarnagolas my time alloy. Why can't you do a tarnagolas? Because it's going to lift it. If you start leading a chicken along or a bird, it's going to lift itself up, and then you're gonna end up carrying it. We have one price that it says that you're allowed to push along the behemoth chayin in a chotzer, but not in Rosh Hashanah. But a woman can push along her son in Rosh Hashanah, and that goes without saying. If you're allowed to do it in public property, you're allowed to do it in private property. You're not allowed to be oiker behemoth chayin in a chotzer. So, but you are allowed to push it in, that it goes inside. So, Hagubakasha Amrit ain't oikerim. It says that you're not allowed to lift it up. But you're allowed to push it. And then Hada Amrit Doichin ain't in without the light. You're allowed to push it, but you can't lead it. So, bottom line is, can you lead these animals along or not? So, Rabbi is safe in a song of Tarnagoylas. Now, the safe is not talking about animals, it's talking about a Tarnagoylas, which we said before. You can't do this to a Tarnagoylas because the Tarnagoylas is going to end up flying, you end up carrying it. Amr Rabbi, Haiman, the Shochet Tarnagoylas, if you're coming to shep the tarnagoylas, what you should do, Kare is its feet. You should bury its feet in the ground so that it can't move, because otherwise it's going to move while you're shefting it and it's going to cause you problems. Inavi, or nidal lahu meidal, hold up its legs. The dilma manachlu l'toifre ba'arav akrlu l'simon. Because if you don't, then it's going to might stick its not paws. What is it? It's claws. I don't know. Whatever. Its fingers into the ground, and then it's going to be oiker the simonim, and then you're not going to properly sheft it because it's going to be moving around its neck. Bottom line is saying that you should hold tight to the chicken. Yeah. Okay. It's a new sugya, so I guess it's a little late, so we'll stop here. Fine. All right. Sorry about that rush over there. Yeah.
Go ahead.
All righty. Good to know.
Are we doing Mar?
We're gonna try. Yes, I hope so. Well, I have. Yossi,
I'm on my way with my son. I'm 2.
Okay, great. So fine.
Good night.
I'll come by.
Baron, you're muted if you're saying something.
I was just saying you have parrots if you count parrots.
Yeah.
Good night, everybody.
Have a good night.
You have nobody named Aaron.
Yeah.
I didn't get that one.
Me and you.
Oh, bye.